What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another ranking. With the end of the year coming, guys, and since I've just seen Aquaman, the newest comic book movie to be released, I'm going to be giving you guys my ranking for all the 2018 superhero / comic book movies of 2018 from worst to best. If you guys haven't seen yet, I just uploaded a similar ranking to this one. I ranked all the animated films that came out this year, 2018. So if you haven't seen that one yet, it's on my channel. Go check that out. There are 9 movies right here, and what I want you guys to do is to let me know your rankings for all the comic book movies this year, and tell me your thoughts on my list and your thoughts on all these movies, and let's have a great discussion. Keep in mind, this list is completely subjective. These are my favorite superhero movies this year. Your list could be completely different, and that's totally fine. All film is subjective, and let's have a friendly conversation down below. Without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Teen Titans Go to the Movies, an animated superhero movie. This one I thought was going to be terrible, but this one I had a fun time with. It has some impressive animation and some fun moments to it. This is definitely a film that people do not like and think it's highly overrated. It has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics absolutely love this movie, and I enjoyed it too. It's not a perfect movie by far. It has some really stupid child humor in it, but honestly, Nicolas Cage's Superman, he's having a great year, by the way. Nicolas Cage was pretty entertaining, and I just love the jokes to the DCU and the MCU, and it's just a fun time, and that Teen Titans theme gets kind of annoying, but I enjoy it. Yeah, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, I enjoyed, but it's the weakest superhero film this year by far. Coming in at number 8 is gonna be Venom, away like a turd in the wind. It's enjoyable. There's not a single superhero film that I hated this year, surprisingly. This one, it is a guilty pleasure. Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock / Venom was fantastic. Tom Hardy is great as both characters of Eddie Brock and Venom. Their relationship was so awesome to see. Yeah, the movie did waste Michelle Williams in the film. Riz Ahmed as Riot is a terrible villain by far, but the look of Riot is completely badass in the film. And the movie does have some kick-ass action to it. The score is pretty awesome. And it's just a really cool, dark, gritty PG-13 film that I felt the film could have been a lot more satisfying if it was rated R, but this PG-13 rating was pretty solid. And from the director of Zombieland, like, this movie delivered on the action sequences. Ruben Fleischer knew what he's doing, and I can't wait to see the sequel. And Venom was pretty kick-ass, even though it's not a perfect film. Coming in at number 7 is Deadpool 2. I really enjoyed Deadpool 2. Not as good as the first one, but this one was entertaining as hell. Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, Deadpool, obviously fantastic. Josh Brolin as Cable, great addition to that cast. Josh Brolin, it's the year for him. Traveling back to this timeline to try to find his kid. He's trying to kill Russell and all that after his family. And this movie's really entertaining. It has some funny moments to it. The end credits was absolutely perfect, with Deadpool shooting Ryan Reynolds, reading a Green Lantern script, and obviously killing, oh my god, Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine. That was just freaking perfect. The action sequences are so kick-ass. The R rating was perfect. David Leitch, I was kind of worried because I wanted Tim Miller to return, but David Leitch did a great job with the action, coming off of Atomic Blonde. Not a perfect movie. I wish they wouldn't have killed off Vanessa, in all honesty. Spoilers, by the way. When they killed off Vanessa, I was just like, really? This early on? But then it gets to an awesome James Bond opening. Deadpool 2 is entertaining, but it's not as good as the first one. Coming in at number 6 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp was an entertaining ride, and Paul Rudd as Ant-Man and Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne the Wasp. Those two together were awesome. This movie was entertaining as hell. I mean, coming off Infinity War, we just wanted a fun movie. And this movie delivered on the fun. I love the action sequences. Of course, all the shrinking with the Hot Wheels toys was such a cool addition. Michael Pena was even better in this one. Oh my god, Michael Douglas is hilarious. I love that school scene. But it's definitely not perfect. I do kind of like Ghost more, but she's not a perfect villain. And also, Walton Goggins was just completely wasted. Why did he need to be in this movie for as much as he did? It does leave a lot of question marks as far as what Ant-Man will do, being stuck in the quantum realm and all that. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the future for Ant-Man with Endgame, but still, Ant-Man and the Wasp delivered what I wanted, a fun-ass movie. Coming in at number 5 is the newly released Aquaman. My review is up on my channel, go check it out. Aquaman is a fun time. It's a grand, epic DCU movie that James Wan really nailed the character of Aquaman, being a badass. It does have some really cool parts to it. Even has freaking Dolph Lundgren in this film, which, oh my god, Dolph Lundgren was entertaining. And it's just an epic Lord of the Rings action movie, which I already gave my thoughts on this movie in my DCU ranking, so go hear my full thoughts. But I thought this movie was really entertaining, not perfect, but it's still one of the best comic book movies this year, so that's saying something. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2, what a great sequel this was. I mean, the highly anticipated sequel that we've been waiting 14 years for. It really dived into the family extremely well. Craig T. Nelson as Mr. Incredible, so hilarious. But it really dives into Holly Hunter as Elastigirl. She is the one getting paid and providing for the family. Jack steals this whole entire movie. That fight scene with the raccoon is just perfect. One of my favorite scenes this year. That was just awesome, man. Edna Mode entertaining, and thank God Frozone was in this movie more than the first one. That was my biggest complaint. And now let's talk about Screenslaver, the main villain. I liked her more as a villain in this time around, but she's definitely not perfect. Incredibles 2 has impressive animation, great action sequences. That boat scene is just awesome, man. And yeah, I cannot wait for an Incredibles 3 that's probably going to come out in 17 years. But still, Incredibles 2 is fantastic. It is incredible, no pun intended. Coming in at number 3 is Black Panther, the King of Wakanda, played by Chadwick Boseman. And Black Panther was a grand, epic MCU film. The cultural messages, the cultural themes of this movie is absolutely mesmerizing. Ryan Coogler absolutely directed the shit out of this movie. And it's getting Oscar buzz. It's probably going to get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It got a Golden Globe nomination. This is the first ever superhero film to be nominated for Best Picture at the Golden Globes and possibly for the Oscars. The CGI, yeah, it is kind of an issue in the final act, but still, Black Panther is an epic film and I've seen it so many times. Coming in at number 2 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Awesome movie. Spider-Verse absolutely delivered. This is one of the best Spider-Man films. It's so fantastic. A Miles Morales-centered story, not a Peter Parker-centered. Miles Morales, the way they dived into him was great. The animation was flawless. The action sequences were entertaining. The biggest flaw is Kingpin as the villain. He was terrible. But everything else, Spider-Verse was entertaining. I love this movie from start to finish, and it just brought me back to my childhood. Of course, coming in at number 1, Avengers Infinity War. This is one of my favorite films this year. I had so much hype, so much expectations going into this movie. 10 years of build-up, 10 years of anticipation, and it absolutely delivered. I mean, the Russo brothers were the perfect choice. All the characters, so many characters in this movie, and they absolutely nailed it. And it has the best villain in the entire MCU, Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. It's so different compared to any other comic book movie, because at the end, the villain wins. Thanos wins at the end. That's why I loved Infinity War so much, because we're so used to the happy endings. It's finally great to see a dark ending where the villain actually wins. I was freaking shocked in the theater. I was like, oh my god. Marvel absolutely nailed it with Infinity War. All the characters were great. The Black Order was intimidating. This whole movie is beyond epic, and it's so freaking awesome! There you have it, guys. That was my ranking for all the comic book movies, superhero movies this year. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of my list, and what are your rankings down below. Thank you guys as always for watching this ranking, and if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below. Click that notification bell on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!